Hello, Print for Pay Hotel members and anybody else who's going to view this video today. We're here today with Mark Gies from Color Logic and Joni Van Gelder from Relyco. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Hello, Joni.
Hi, it's good to be with you.
Same here. And today we are going to speak about something. It's not new. It's really not different, but I think with learning more about print embellishment and the medias that are required to go for doing the embellishment, and the embellishment is for fifth station color devices, I think it can help us all understand a little bit more about the marketplace and get us some additional places. So I'm going to start off with Mark first, and if Mark, if you could just give everybody a brief overview of the embellishment, and then Joni will take over from there. Joni is with the Relyco, and Joni offers up a lot of the different substrates that you need to do the embellishments with. All right, Mark, you're up.
Sure. My name is Mark Jeeves, Director of Sales and Marketing for Color Logic, and thank you for letting me participate today. Color Logic is a software company, and we develop design tools to help designers take advantage of what digital printers or presses can do, utilizing, in this case, the Relyco substrate. So that's what it's all about. And really, you know, embellishment is all about what can you do to a printed sheet to differentiate it when it either arrives in the mail or a package on the shelf, a label on a bottle, or a wedding invitation. So the goal for us, as anybody is to make print unforgettable, because so much of print is forgettable. That's our goal at our company. We work with Relyco and several of our press partners to do that.
Right. So, Joni, maybe you could talk about a little bit about the different types of medias that Relyco supplies.
Absolutely. I'm Joni Van Gelder with Relyco, and we are a company that provides specialty media. So when we say specialty media, we mean things that are out of the traditional paper or business product kind of category, if you will. So we have things like synthetics or metallics or label stock, just to give you a couple of different ideas to think about, that we work with all of the OEM printer manufacturers, and obviously we work very closely with Mark and his team, and we provide the specialty media that allows customers to bring print in-house, and when used in conjunction with our media, the power of the printer and the Color Logic program really allows them to create a very eye-catching, dynamic printed piece.
Right. So how does that usually happen? Let's say the client has Color Logic and they've gotten on board with it, and at that point in time they want to research what they can print onto. I mean, does a call then go into a Relyco, or does a call go into Color Logic?
I'm not sure who you're addressing it to. I think it could be either. You know, and Mark, certainly if I would appreciate you chiming in, but I mean, we can have customers reach out to us and say, I just got my, you know, Xerox press or whatever the case may be, and I'm using Color Logic and I want to talk to you about media. We can certainly work on it from that perspective in that scenario. What we're going to find out is really what is the application? What is the intent? And then we can, from there, we can make some recommendations. It may go to Mark and his team, and they may utilize, they may come to us and say, you know, we have a prospect for Color Logic that wants to be able to print on this kind of material. Can we do some testing? And then we would work with Color Logic in that regard. Mark, what have I missed?
No, that's it. It's really the big thing about embellishment. And I brought this up here because it's a little bit bigger scale. And no offense, we do some great stuff with it, but this is visually easier. The thing about embellishment that print service providers, it causes them to change a little bit. And this is also what Relyco and ourselves do at our companies, is we actually are educating the print service provider that when you start dealing with embellishment, now you're at the concept and the design stage. It's no longer that you receive, hey, what's the price on 25 of these or 1,000 of these?
Mhm.
Because what happens is it all starts with color communication. So this just happens to be one of the substrates from our friends at Relyco. And
Right?
what we do is we take that and let our print service provider, mutual customers like GAM in this case, produce 250 metallic colors that communicate to the designer exactly the color they're going to get off, in this case, the Ricoh press, or if it was Xerox, whoever press they have. It accurately communicates the color. And that's one thing that's different than print service providers. You know, when you're starting to talk about embellishment and specialty papers, is we have to have a color system. So that's the first thing that Color Logic does, is we've invented a color system for metallic substrates and metallic inks. So just using silver. So this is just one substrate. So it's very economical that I can produce 250 colors. And by the way, if I wanted to use silver ink, like this is off a iridescent Xerox, that's white paper. And there's a lot of synthetic papers, as they just mentioned, that there's available. So that's the first step. And then from there on, what we do at our system is we take that substrate, use the white or the silver ink to create these kind of embellishments, these kind of effects.
Right. Now you mentioned, and since I'm a novice in this space, you use the word print service provider.
Yes.
What exactly is that?
That's what most of the people refer to companies as in the past. And it's really an old term anymore, because if you start looking at it, it's really where you went and got things printed. But most of those people now, because of the presses that they've invested in, they're no longer just a print service provider, because those digital presses, whether it's Xerox or HP or Indigo, Konica, they can do so much more. So now they have a pre-press person or a design person. So it's really the people where you go to get the finished product printed.
Got it. Got it. So as a rep who's selling fifth station color, I would tend to think that I should be making every single one of my opportunities, give them the knowledge about Color Logic, correct?
Well, we hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
works for us.
You know, and I put it this way. And there's a customer in the marketplace, and it's Minuteman Press down in Florida. They're not even a customer of ours, but the gentleman down there, it's a great story. He treats his business like Baskin Robbins. He prints a lot of things. He owns a digital press that's capable of doing 5th and 6th color. And when he gets a job in for a CMYK job, he always gives them back a sample that had a little bit of the 5th or 6th. So it's like going to Baskin Robbins and saying, yes, you asked for a vanilla cone, here you go. Oh, by the way, we have other flavors.
Oh, really?
And he does a great job. And again, he's not even my customer. I think his marketing is great. But until somebody knows it's possible, guess what happens? Nothing.
Right.
Zero. And you know what? We actually did a special poster for this year. 2021 is a relaunch. And the reason I say this is it's sort of like what we see in, think about all the things that are going on in NASA. I love outer space. That's why we did this, by the way. The gentleman that went up last year, right, in the space shuttle.
Right.
Last time he went up, he was driving a Buick. This time he is driving a Tesla. And you know what? He looked really good going up there. And that's what it's about. We're in a different world today, right?
Right.
And the print technology, the engine providers that obviously Relyco and ourselves work with, they've made so many advancements, and the substrates have come so far, the coatings. So it's amazing that, you know, when we talk about a print service provider, they're competing against what I'd call the commercial printer these days.
Understood.
Yeah. But you got to show people what you're able to do before it actually happens.
Yeah.
And as we say here, all print starts with design. There's not one job anybody prints that a designer didn't start with.
Right. So, Joni, I remember you speaking about how you have that talk track with the clients.
Mhm.
Maybe you could, I mean, that was from one of our first meetings. Maybe you could just tell us, remind me about it, and,
Sure,
tell our
sure.
members a little bit more about it on how Relyco goes about figuring out substrates and medias.
Yeah, absolutely. Relyco is very application driven and application focused. So when we work with a prospect or an existing customer, we want to know more than I want a case of your silver paper. We really try to find out what it is they're planning to do with it. How are they doing it now? What is their expectation about what they want this new application or process to become? And by asking all of those questions, it gives us a better insight into what the dynamics of the customer are, what the end goal is, so that we can make better recommendations. Now, on the OEM side, when we talk with OEMs, what we do is we encourage them to change the conversation from the traditional feed, speed, footprint, are you going to lease, are you going to purchase, and have the same kind of dialogue. Because as they have that dialogue with customers, a couple of things happen. All of the questions that you would normally ask, the discovery questions, really come out during that conversation. But to Mark's point, having a different perspective, talking to them about the application and the solution, makes them start thinking about ways that they can bring print in-house that they may not have thought of before. It's very common for somebody to say, I want to print this. And by having a conversation with them about printing menu, it can very often migrate into, well, wait a minute, if I can print this, I have a department that needs table tents, or I have a department that wants outside signage, or we're doing a direct mail campaign and we want to make something look like a postcard. And all of those conversations come to one conclusion. It helps the prospect justify the investment in the software solution, in the printing solution, and the media solution, but it also gives them a better idea of the return on investment, because now they're looking at it from a broad perspective across their enterprise. How many really neat things can they actually do that they didn't think of before? And having that conversation as opposed to, are you looking to lease or purchase, or what are you looking for an engine, really solidifies the feeling with the prospect that you're really engaged with what they're trying to do and you really want to understand it so that you can offer the best possible solution. And that's really the approach that we take with our customers.
Got it. So when reps are out there prospecting for fifth station color opportunities, would you say that it would be a good thing to maybe get Relyco on board
Absolutely.
beforehand?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. It's not, it's not always possible, and some people are not comfortable with that. But in an ideal scenario, Art,
Right.
the best way for this to happen, in our experience, is to bring Relyco in as early in the discovery phase as possible, because it does a couple of things. It allows us to collaborate together with the rep and the end user to find out really what's going on without, saying, well, he told me this or she told me that. But it also, excuse me, it also gives the customer a really warm feeling and a lot of confidence, because they're looking at it by saying, this particular rep isn't just interested in moving a printer in here. He's not only interested in offering this equipment, but he wants to really understand what our needs are, and he's bringing in their media person right at the beginning. And so it kind of gives the customer the feeling that they're really important, because an entire team is now working on understanding what they want to do, from the equipment side to the software side, the media side to the finishing side, and so forth.
Great point. Great point. Good stuff. And Mark, would the same go true for Color Logic?
Yeah, we get involved quite a bit beforehand, and the real benefit is like Joni just said, it's the sales reps for the print engine manufacturers, our OEMs. They have a lot on their docket to sell, and when it comes to specialty, they're learning too, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And a lot of them bring us in on their first calls or two, and I know Joni's probably gone through this, and then all of a sudden those people are off and they understand it better. So yeah, I think that's very important because you know what? You're in sales, Art, right? You sell what you're comfortable with.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
If you're not comfortable with, you don't talk about it.
Right, right. You know, another one, out of sight, out of mind.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
In fact, you know, I had a situation that just recently is weird. I had a supply, one of our OEMs contact me about the product and he sold it to him, but the customer didn't even own his product. He said, I just think they need it for what they need. And that was very strange, but you know what? That customer loves him.
That's a testament.
That's consultative selling. And if you're not doing that, you might as well quit it because those days of the, oh yeah, what's the best price and all that, that's just one road. It's downward.
Right. So speaking about out of sight and out of mind, I'm a rep for a dealer. I can sell fifth station color. We have a fifth station color in one of our showrooms. Since we don't have a graphics person, how would I go about getting print samples? And to either Mark or Joni?
Well,
with embellishment.
Go ahead, Johnny. I'll let you start.
We can certainly provide the media. We have production engines here. We don't currently have Color Logic, so we would work with Mark in terms of printed samples. I mean, that's certainly, I think that's probably open for discussion. You know, we have a very large production printer here, so we know the media, we know how it runs, we know what the settings are, and you know, if we could work in tandem with Mark, I'm sure that you know we could provide something that would be workable for everybody. And Mark, you know, if you could speak to that, that would be great.
Sure. What we've done, because this comes up all the time, it's a great question. Yes, and Relyco's always been good about supplying paper to us and stuff. So what we do is we have a landing page that customers can go to for our OEM partners that resell our product or who are our partners. And we have our test form file like this one, and we have a 48-page booklet that's press ready that anybody can download and print on the Relyco with silver ink plus CMYK on their white stocks, or they can print this. This is actually done on their metallic stock. So this is a 48-page metallic booklet. It's got everything in there, and it educates them not only on what Color Logic is, it's got great visuals about what's possible with embellishment.
Right.
So yeah, and that's what we found. You can't educate your people if they don't have a design background. Right. It's a waste of time. So we actually have press ready files.
Okay. Is the booklet that's downloaded, does that have examples of print embellishment in it?
Every page does. It's 48-page, every page. And you can print one page or you can print all 48.
So I guess all of those colors are in, again, I'm a novice. They're embedded in that file that's printed.
Yeah, one of the pages we actually put in here is a page of our swatch book. This book has 250 metallic colors in it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So even though I don't have Color Logic running in my demo room, I can print those colors.
Yeah, we worked with the RIP companies like EFI in this case. Usually, EFI already supports our file format. And so they'll recognize it. And we have instructions on those landing pages of how to output the file with every different RIP and engine.
Nice. That's cool. I think that can go a long way into helping quite a few reps.
Yeah, and plus we do it for large formats. So we actually are supported by every digital press in the world and almost every RIP in the world for large format where there's white or silver. I mean, it's over 100 and some, I think now, engines.
Interesting. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Joni, do you have any final comments?
Really, just, you know, as always, we appreciate your time. If we can help on the media side, either answering questions or providing media samples, we're more than happy to do so. And, you know, we're always open to having application discussions and things of that nature. If people just have questions, We, we spend a lot of time helping educate our customers on our media so that they can offer a better printed solution.
Right, got it. And Mark, how about you?
Well, the only thing I'm going to bring up is we're making a new announcement. We are coming out with a new gold palette. And so in addition to the 250 metallic colors we have, we've added 30 new golds that are compatible with the silver toners and inks that are available, or the silver metallic substrates. And now we're going to give customers 55 golds opportunity or shades to choose from. So that's just something new. We just are announcing this month. We'll release it in a couple weeks.
That's absolutely
Awesome.
incredible. Just incredible.
And that's using silver, by the way. That's not using gold. That's using a silver. So you only have to have one color, one extra color in that engine.
Neat. Neat. All right. Well, Joni and Mark, thank you very much. And to our members, Pray for Payment members who have watched this, we thank you very much for tuning in. Anybody who's new, we're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. So if you've liked the video, you like the content, you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button, and we'll be back next week with another show. Mark, thank you very much. Joni, thank you very much. Y'all enjoy your weekends.
All right,
Thank you,
take care.
Appreciate it, everybody.
All righty, bye-bye.